the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom.
I regard myself as a soldier of peace.
Hi everyone, we all know that on January 30, 1948, Nathuram Godse killed Mahatma Gandhi. But very few of us would be knowing that what events triggered Nathuram Godse to shoot Mahatma Gandhi. So to understand this better, let's head back to the famous Red Fort trial of 1948. Okay people, so we all know that after partition, Pakistan attacked Kashmir and India sent its military troops to Kashmir to normalize the situation after Maharaja of Kashmir agreed to join India. And at that time, India had an agreement with Pakistan according to which India had to pay a sum of 55 crore rupees to Pakistan. And the fun fact was that there was no fixed date for the payment. So Sardar Patel, who was then the Deputy Prime Minister of India, came up with a brilliant idea to not pay a single penny to Pakistan unless Pakistan agrees to withdraw its troops from Kashmir. But this idea of Sardar Patelji's was against Gandhiji's path of ahimsa. And on January 12, 1948, Gandhiji threatened the Indian government by saying that he would go on a fast until the government of India reverts its decision and agrees to pay Pakistan the sum of money. And on January 13, 1948, Gandhiji began his fast. And the net result of this fast was that on January 17, 1948, the government of India gave up and agreed to pay Pakistan. And this matter of Kashmir, which could have been resolved way back in 1948, is still even after 75 years is not resolved. But people, this was not the only event which triggered Nathuram Godse to kill Mahatma Gandhi. But there were a series of events which triggered him. So let's try to understand them one by one. As a result of World War I, Turkey had lost most of its empire in Africa and in Middle East, and had also lost its imperial possession in Europe, and by 1914, only a strip of it remained in the European continent. As a result, young Turks forced the Sultan to abdicate. With the disappearance of this one, the Khilafat was also abolished. And the devotion of the Indian Muslims towards the Khilafat was so strong and serious that they believed it was the British who has caused the fall of Sultan and Khilafat. So they started a campaign for the resurgence of Khilafat in India. Gandhiji saw this as an opportunity to unite the Hindus and Muslims of India to achieve Swaraj. And initially, this Khilafat movement was a great success. But when it failed, thousands of Hindus were killed and forcibly converted to Islam. And this man, who has brought this calamity to India with his communal politics, kept quiet. Nor did he even utter a single word against the aggressor. Nor even did he allow Congress to take any action against these aggressors. On one side, Gandhiji should have condemned the actions of these aggressors. Instead, he published in his diary, Young India, that there was only one case of forced conversion. His own Muslim colleague informed him that he has quoted the wrong numbers about the forced conversion. He never corrected his misstatement. So when the Khilafat movement failed, the Ali brothers decided to do something. So the Ali brothers are the same person who started the Khilafat movement in India and to whom Mr. Gandhi supported. So what Ali brothers did is they started raising slogans like whoever is the enemy of Khilafat is also the enemy of Islam. And since the British were primarily responsible for the dethronement of Sultan of Turkey, so every faithful Muslim had a duty to be the enemy of Great Britain. The brothers hated Britishers so much that they invited the Amir of Afghanistan or the Commander-in-Chief of Afghanistan to invade India. And even after knowing that they are inviting the Amir of Afghanistan to invade India, Mahatma Gandhi continued his tactics to Hindu-Muslim unity in India. And after each defeat, Gandhiji had more interest in his method of achieving Hindu-Muslim unity. Gandhiji, early in his career, gave huge importance to Hindi. But soon he discovered that this method won't make him the leaders of both Hindu and the Muslim community. So he created a hybridization of Hindi with Urdu, which had no vocabulary, neither meaning. And to please the Muslim community, he even insisted that this hybridization of language should be the national language of India. Finally, Hindi was selected as a national language, and the committee appointed by the government of India translated the entire draft of constitution into pure Hindi. People, not only this, but Gandhiji even forbade reciting or reading Shiva Bhavani, which was a beautiful collection of 52 verses by a poet who exalts the great power of Shivaji and the protection he has brought to the Hindu community and their religion. Gandhiji first taught the lesson that India should not help in the war between England and Germany by saying war means violence, and he could not help in it. But when his wealthy peers and followers greatly increased their wealth by receiving government contracts for the supply of material for war, Gandhiji never refused to accept this money from the rich people, even though it was earned by killing people. In short, in Gandhiji's politics, there was no room for consistency of ideas and reasons. Gandhiji had developed a mindset in which he was the only judge of everyone and everything. He was the mastermind guiding the civil disobedience movement. Nobody knew his techniques, only he knew when to start and when to call off the civil disobedience movement. In short, he was the only judge of what was right or what was wrong. Let me put this before you with the help of an example. Gandhiji not just opposed the use of force in the freedom battle, but even though who had a politically different perspective from him was opposed by him. A great example of this is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. The story is of one of the presidential election of Congress. During that time, Netaji was so much popular in the country that even Gandhiji, after stating in favor of Ramaiah, Netaji won that election by huge margins. But this made Gandhiji upset greatly, and he stated that Netaji's victory was his defeat and not of Ramaiah. Even after stating, Gandhiji was not satisfied. To make sure that Netaji is overthrown from Congress, Gandhiji fasted until Netaji resigned. After partition, when refugees came to India and occupied mosques in Delhi, Gandhiji imposed restrictions and demanded that all the mosques in Delhi to be vacated and only given to Muslims. This man never thought where these refugees from other communities will go and never even concerned to provide some alternative arrangements for their accommodation in those days of extreme cold. To persuade government, Gandhiji always had his Brahmastra of hunger strike, and he managed to get government and certain leaders to accept his condition by his fasting. Finally, the 1948 Kashmir matter made Nathuram Godse to shoot Mahatma Gandhi on 30th January 1948. Justice Sri Khosla writes in his book The Assassination of Gandhi that after Nathuram Godse presented his hour-long reason that led him to take the life of Mr. Gandhi, the audience moved visibly and audibly. There was a deep silence when he stopped talking. Many women and men started crying. He later writes in his book that he had no doubt that if people present there were asked about the final verdict, then with an overwhelming majority, they would have rendered an not guilty verdict in favor of Mr. Godse. And as an add-on, I would like to discuss with you that since at childhood, we are told that it's only because of Mahatma Gandhi's path of ahimsa and non-violence, India got its independence. But is it really true? There are many people because of whom sacrifice like Subhash Chandra Bose, Ras Bihari Bose, Lokmanya Tilak, Veer Savarkar, Mangal Pandey, Bhagat Singh and many more, because of whom sacrifice India got its independence. And Clement Attlee, who was the Prime Minister of Britain during 1945 and 1951, and who granted the decision to make India independent. When he came to India in 1956 and was asked by Mr. P.B. Chakrabarti, who was the Governor of West Bengal and was also the Chief Justice of Kolkata High Court, that when he asked Mr. Clement Attlee that what made Britishers make India independent, so Clement Attlee replied that it was Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Indian National Army, that forced Britishers to leave India. And then when Mr. Chakrabarti further intrigued Mr. Attlee that what was the role of Mr. Gandhi on the British Empire, so he said that it was only the Gandhiji's role was very minimal. And Mr. Clement Attlee said that after the breakout of the naval mutiny of 1946, the British Army feared that the situation doesn't get much worse and become like the first war of independence of the 1857. So they decided to leave India and grant India independence. So that's all for this video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you like the video, and thank you for watching.